Now that's something that you need to wrap your heads around. When you're talking about the futures of these children, yes, obviously we can't separate it from their education. But when you're talking about their education, there is no way you can separate it from food. They're all intricately interlinked. It's a hot day. We are in the compound where the warehouses are, and this is where the food will be distributed and the grain will be distributed most likely in the coming Thursday, so in about a week from now. And it's not just the grain that's for distribution that's stored here. We've also got the grain for the school meals program. We've also got the Super Cereal Plus. We've got the Plumpy Up. Now, this is also used for the pregnant and lactating mothers. This is also used for the moderately malnourished children. And as you can see, the support looks never ending. This corridor looks like it never ends. Looks like the food grain, there's an ample supply. But you know what? This will almost finish in the next distribution. But what's amazing is that WFP keeps the food coming. We've got an amazing supply chain that in spite of the fuel crisis, in spite of security concerns, the grain keeps coming. Children are being supported no matter what. This is where the food is likely to be distributed, and that's happening next Thursday. Now, I've dragged Mulugeta out of the Gambella office to talk us a little bit through this, and he runs the operations here in Gambella. Now, earlier I said we bringing over 60,000 metric tons every year. Just trying to make some sense of that. Mulugeta, how many people is that likely to impact?
More than 300,000 children and totally more than 600,000 people in a year impacted.
Wow, 300,000 children. Now, just the grain, just for context, this is just one set of warehouses. There are many across the camps. Just the grain, if stacked one on top of the other, are likely to look like a modern high-rise. And I don't mean that metaphorically, I mean literally. And the oil that's part of that shipment, Mulugeta, how much oil comes in?
Yeah, in a year we expected 2.4 million liters oil.
I've never bought more than 5 liters at a time. So just for context, 2.4 million liters will translate into about 75 very average sized oil trucks. And that will mean, if stood end to end, will cover just under 1 kilometer long line of oil trucks. That's crazy. But all these big numbers, they can easily take over, and we lose track of what we're really focusing on. The important thing is all these big numbers translate at the end of the day to a very satisfied, well-nourished child at the end of the day. Home is what we think of as being a safe space, a place of safety. And yet, when you have to uproot your family and move them because of security and safety to a place that's far from everything you know and love, I can't imagine what that must feel like. Most of the people here traveled over from South Sudan in 2013. Most of the kids I met came over in 2015. This is after the conflict started last. And it's been interesting because Gambella has its own shared history, long and complicated, because you've got communities here that stretch across the borders. You've got long-standing tensions and traditions over land and resources. And so it's not just a question of people moving. It is complicated and layered with survival, with culture, with tradition, with people.
today.